Hello everybody, welcome back to Kusogrand8, the Bad Video Game Tournament. As a reminder, we have submissions for Big Bad Gameathon. They end at the end of the month. If you have not... Oh my gosh. Do we have a link for submissions? That is not the right link. Oh my gosh, where is it? Big Bad Gameathon. Come on. Yeah, if you can't wait for Big Bad Gameathon 2023, then that's pretty cool. No, here. There you go. Bam. Submissions in chat, bigbadgameathon.com. Now, there's some of you who are thinking, oh, I wish I could play, but I don't have anything ready. Just get something, okay? You've got 5 days. Get a rough run done, okay? It doesn't have to be super polished. You can polish later. We want submissions, okay? Heck, if there's a game that you like, but you're like, this is so weird and there's no way to run it, just make a video and submit it and say it's a showcase. I don't care. Submit, okay? Do something weird, please. I'm going to submit some stuff that may not be traditional. And I'm going to submit multiple things. Dolores Fred is saying, fine, I'll submit. Good. Submit to Big Bad Gameathon, please. I want to see whatever the crap you are playing. I want, like, speedruns and high score attempts, great. Showcases, fantastic. I remember IQ equals 0. Huh? Y'all remember that? Yeah, that was a showcase by Faizu of Smart Boy, I think. What a special game. Well, I think that's about time for us to move on. Crappy, take us over to the game reveal. And, oh, maybe Crappy is going to submit something to Big Bad Gameathon. You never know. I don't know what those tomatoes were doing. But you know, I know who the next GM is, and I bet that they love tomatoes. Say hello to GM number 2, Neitzel. Neitzel, come on in and chat. I would love to talk about your game. Hello there, Neitzel.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I got vetoed a lot again today.
Oh no! I can't believe that people are vetoing. How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, there were really a few choices in my list. I was like, there's no chance I'm getting vetoed. But yeah. Tina X is in this match, and she's played a lot of games, so it was kind of hard to find something for this match. So I went back to my list from round 1, and we're going to play an Infogrames game for the Game Boy.
Ooh.
And that game is Spirou.
Spirou! We have had the Super Nintendo version of this game, but I do not believe we've had the Game Boy version. The players are going to have 1 hour to try to make as much progress through this. In general, I find that their Game Boy games are better than the other games that they have, so I'm excited to see how this goes. Well, our players here are Pomona Flowers, Solo Andrade, Schmumbler, and Tina Hacks. Let me go ahead and see. Anyone in chat, any of our mods, can you get a prediction going for us? I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, so our players will be playing on the hard difficulty because this game is actually on the easier side. Like I said, originally this is a game that I wanted to give in round 1, but it got vetoed back then. And turns out after like 5 vetoes in round 3, it gets in. So we have everyone on hard difficulty, so they can go back to the main menu, and then we'll be able to start.
Welcome to life. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's... Ooh, I love the Game Boy music for Infogrames as well. Yeah, the thing is, like, with Kusogrand8, there is sometimes an emphasis for what is going to be appropriate for early/later rounds. I personally don't care as much. Like, I'm here for the fun, okay? It's a mystery tournament. Sometimes you get something absolute butts, sometimes you get something that is actually enjoyable. And today we might have a game that the players like. But we might also have a game that they hate. You never know.
Yeah, there's a few things that unfortunately brings this game a little bit down. Like the controls are not great. It doesn't feel that good. There are a few blind jumps as well. That's annoying. But overall, I mean, this game is on the better side of things that I gave so far in the tournament. I'm just asking Andrade to remove his picture. Yep. But yeah, overall, Spirou is really a character that I grew up with as a kid, so I really wanted to get him in the tournament at some point.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo version is so much worse. And,
yeah, I believe it. Also, Schmumbler.
Yeah, Schmumbler as well.
I'm checking right now. It looks like Schmumbler has removed the picture.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I'm...
Oh my gosh. Tina has such a cute burb emote. I need to get more, like, cute emotes to use in chat. What do I have? Freaking Athena? Athena's not cute. Okay, all of the players are ready, so Neitzel, what would be good emotes for chat to spam today?
If you have anything related to robots, also anything related to Bell, because Spirou is a bellboy. If you have something related to elevators as well. We'll be going through New York, so if you have anything related to that, or undergrounds, or toys, we have a toy level as well.
Yes, spam your emotes. Oh, Schmumbler already dead.
Died already.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Kusogrand8. Occasionally, people die immediately. Welcome to the chaos.
Oh yeah, and he's going to die. Oh no, actually, he's survived right away. So Schmumbler is really going really hard at this game, like running really to damage boost through everything. That might not be the best idea in the long term, but so far it looks like it's working out pretty well. So something to know is that there's fall damage. So like for instance, at that point when thankfully he grabbed that ladder right before landing, so that helped him. And we already have a game over, so maybe this game is worse than what I think.
Maybe. Ooh, a little bit of slowdown. That's okay. Some people's internet occasionally having difficulties. That is why we have them do a local recording just in case internet dies. And luckily we get audio from multiple people, so that is not a big issue. Oh, Neitzel, one thing that I'm very happy about lately is that it seems like the weird audio issues I was having with Discord have been fixed with a later OBS update, so thank goodness we no longer have the crispy fried chicken sounds. We've just got normal stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm happy about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Discord can be a pain in the butt from time to time.
Yeah, but I think I think it was OBS causing the problems, not Discord.
Oh, okay. So it looks like Pomona Flores is struggling a little bit. They didn't realize that they can go through the door, and they are just trying to run through things. So something to know is that I didn't give a manual because I didn't have one. But yeah, I gave a few notes about the basic controls. And yeah, I hope Pomona realize that they can go through the door. It would be a shame to get stuck there for a very, very long time. But yeah, Spirou. Spirou is. I mean, I know a lot of people outside of Belgium say it's a bit like a discount Tintin, and I don't really agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Spirou to actually say one way or the other. I know that, like, outside, at least in the US, we know Tintin a lot more than Spirou. But they definitely are different IPs. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I hated the Super Nintendo version partially because it had a toy level. I just don't like toy levels. I'm an adult. I don't want to jump on a weird teddy bear belly.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And I remember when I played the SNES version, what I didn't like about the game is that it doesn't really follow the books, and like that toy level is something that you don't get at all in the books. So I was really annoyed by it. Plus it was really hard. Like, why do you have clowns in this stage as well? It's like, I hate games with clowns. So yeah, the balloons, the way they work is that I think if you hold on to them for too long, they explode. So you have to grab them,
and then jump off. Okay.
Yeah, and then jump off. The Super Nintendo version also have. So to go through the door, you just have to press up. So it's Korean. So it's really easy. I don't know how come they are struggling so much. Maybe Promona didn't set up the controls properly.
Oh no!
If you're okay, I can just ask.
You are more than welcome to ask them. Yes, that is. Yeah, that is fine. In general, the players should have everything set up beforehand, but if there is an obvious issue or an issue that we believe is going to cause them problems for an hour, might as well get that fixed. You know, the time that is lost, the 5 minutes, that's time that, you know, they will not be able to get back. Oh my gosh, this music is so good.
Yeah, the music is really awesome. Overall in the game, that's really a really great quality of the game. But yeah, from what I remember, because I mean, I played this game quite a long time ago, since it was for 1-1, and you just have to press up, and all the other players didn't have any issues.
Yeah.
So I'll just give the solution to this.
And there we go, into the building.
Okay. Just Promona didn't think of that, but I mean that's really the start of the level. I don't think people will mind that much.
Yeah, I would say that, like, for something at the very beginning of the game, you know, we already had a solid 5 minutes lost, and I definitely don't want to sit around for an entire match watching a single screen. You know, it's something that is probably in the bracket we would be a lot more hesitant to give that type of information out. But, you know, come on. We're here you know, this is a bad video game tournament. You lost 5 minutes trying to go into a door. Sure, we'll throw you a bone this time.
Yeah, apparently the up control only worked with the D-pad, and they were playing with the analog stick. Looks like it.
Oh.
So yeah, that electric beam on the wire, if it touches you, it makes you fall, and usually you have a gap right below that. I think So I missed the plot a little bit. I think Mumbler and Andrade are on stage 3. Oh, am I? Oh no, actually, that's stage 1. Because you go back to the city once you reach, once you complete the toy level.
Yeah, now that actually is an important thing for us to consider. If, you know, technically everything was mapped correctly, but because of an issue that we had no idea about, the difference between an analog stick and a D-pad, causing Pomona to be unable to go into a room, that may be something when it's out of everybody's control and completely unpredictable. We sometimes do give a little bonus time. But again, that is a question for our referees. Thank you so much, referees, for being here. Our refs for this match are Linkaru, oh my gosh, Taven, Mendez, Hazelshade12, and Clades. Yeah, Linker being the only one with Spirou OC. I appreciate it. You know, you gotta make your OC somewhere. Oh, we've got Hazel Spirou 12 and Mindezu. Okay. And also, Clades forgot to mess with his username. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you forgot to do your job, Clades.
So yeah, fun fact about Spirou. So he's a Belgian character, and it comes from his name comes from a local language called Wallon. So it's a language used in Wallonia, and what it means it's a mashup between squirrels and mischievous. And that's why he has his side. I mean, the animal that is along with him is a squirrel.
Oh, and, he's got a squirrel? Okay, he's so cool.
Yeah, the squirrel is pretty fun. It's a fun character in the books. The main difference between Spirou and Tintin is that Spirou is actually not owned by the writer originally. It was really created by a company. So we still have stories and books released about Spirou nowadays, despite the person who actually created it died a long time ago. So he has really evolved with times, and that's a really cool thing about the character. While you know, Tintin is really stuck in times, and there are a lot of things that you can criticize about Tintin. Spirou has really more evolved along the years, but yeah, there are also a few things that you can criticize in really older books about Spirou, but it's nice. A lot of people wrote a lot of really good writers made stories around Spirou, and that's really nice to see the character evolving over time.
Yeah, that I'm trying to think. There's certain that doesn't happen a whole lot in serialized comics, at least in America. A lot of the characters remain fairly the same, but I do know that it happens quite a bit outside of American comics, and I really appreciate the character development, you know? Although I'm thinking there is a really good series called Bone. It's currently in graphic novel format, but it was released, I believe, as individual comics. Yeah, highly recommended, Neitzel.
Yeah, I'll have a look at it. Not been reading much lately, so that would be nice to get something new to pick up.
It's great. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I might have the full colored book. If so, like, it was absolutely worth it. One of my favorite sort of graphic novels that was, I believe, released in either 16-page format, something like that, and made over time. And there's so much evolution throughout this story. Definitely worth reading. Let me put a picture up on stream. Bone, okay? Recommended. Give it a shot, everybody. Jeff Smith. I don't know who Jeff Smith is. I have a cousin named Jeff Smith.
So Chiron is asking, when are we going to get a Gaston Lagaffe match? I don't know if we have video games around Gaston Lagaffe, to be fair. Because I know that the author behind that character was really protective of it. Yeah, so... But yeah, as always, you can count on Infogrames on adapting French and Belgian characters into video games. I know the Lucky Luke games are pretty good, like the one on Super Nintendo. I think I had to look at it, and I thought it was way too good for Kusogrand8. So yeah, something that makes this game a bit annoying in terms of control, we're about to see it there, is right what's happening on Smumbler screen. So the button to run and to shoot are the same, and you have to start moving before pressing that button. Otherwise, what happens is that you get that really long animation of Spirou shooting. And in another scroller stage like this one, it's super annoying. Because every time you see him shoot, it's just because he's holding the run button and stays still. So I thought that was one of the reasons this game might be a good fit for the tournament, because that's a really, really bad design decision, in my opinion.
Well, we are 14 minutes into the match. 3 players currently on the toy level. Schmumbler, I believe, trying to get back there. I really enjoy the music in this area. It's a sort of 3/4 style music, which normally isn't quite as upbeat in video games. Most of the time when they use a 3/4/6/8, it tends to be a little bit slower and relaxed, but this is a really good example of, like, using a different time signature and still having it upbeat and action-packed. But Infogrames just had fantastic music across the board when it came to any of their handheld games. The Tintin series, absolutely amazing music. I am not surprised that this is as well.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this game is a lot better than the Super Nintendo version, and that's always the case with, I mean, from what I've played, it seems like it's always the case with Infogrames games. Like the Game Boy version are always better than the home console version.
Yeah, and Chad is pointing out Alberto Gonzalez is a legend of chiptunes. Indeed, he is the one who worked for Infogrames for their handheld systems. Absolutely amazing. Now, Iskorian is actually pointing out some of the tracking when it comes to this game, and specifically on stage 3, we have first pixel death for Schmumbler, and Tina Hacks died immediately. Solo, first screen death, but I believe Solo is actually making progress this time using pause strats.
And I'm pretty sure that Schmumbler reached stage 4, because we saw him in the underground stage a little bit earlier.
Oh, really? Okay. Aha. It's very possible, but I also presume we're going to see players make more progress again.
Yeah, Andrade is doing really well on this stage, and of course, I just jinxed him.
That is fine. Now, for those who don't know, Infogrames is a little bit brutal when it comes to passwords. It's usually about 4 levels beaten before a password shows up.
Yeah, and in this one, it's the pass. It's images of the characters. So it's
Pomona, kind of no! Pomona didn't even move! And I didn't know that the left side of the screen insta-killed you. That is evil.
Yeah, if it catches you, you just die, and when you get hit, well, obviously, you get a little bit of knockback. and that's also a little bit annoying.
So apparently the story of this game is that there's the famous inventor Count of Champignac, who's about to present his latest inventions. However, Spirou and Fantasio, the court's most faithful friends, are there, and then an evil robot woman shows up. What?
Yeah, so the evil woman is a character, so she's a robot that can control all the electronics system.
Okay.
And the idea is that she wants to take over the world. And she was part of one of the books. She's like one of the most famous villain in the series.
Her name is Cyanida, at least from what I can see in the English version, originally called Cyanure, something like that. But she's named after poison. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you and your pet squirrel Spip. I haven't even seen your squirrel. Where's the squirrel? Can you play as the squirrel?
You can't play as the squirrel. He appears in some level, like just to give you clues about where to go. At least in the Super Nintendo version, it was that way. I don't remember if you see him in this one. I imagine you can see him in a few screens, but no, unfortunately, you don't play as him.
Okay, I found a picture of the squirrel. Everybody, this is the best squirrel that has ever been put in media. Okay, I'm not even kidding you. Let me go ahead and share this with you. Okay, I'm putting it up. Best squirrel here. Yeah, and this has me sold on Spirou right now. Look at this freaking adorable Spit, okay? Absolute perfection. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun character.
It's so much better than Snowy.
I don't remember. Do you see like the thoughts of Snowy? Like, do you have text that shows the thoughts of Snowy?
The thoughts of Snowy?
So. Yeah, you know, like you have actual text with because Spip is really snarky. He does a lot of sarcastic comments.
Okay.
The thing is that it's all thoughts. So the other characters don't understand it except the reader of the book, and that's the way they communicate all that.
So basically, they act as a character that breaks the fourth wall, communicating with the reader.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, if all of the other characters have to stay in world, it's almost like the Garfield series. John never talks to the reader, but Garfield almost exclusively talks to the reader.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And that's this nerd right here, Spip, okay? Yeah. He's there in order to talk to us, talk to you and me. He is our connection.
And in the earlier books, there was also another animals alongside Spirou, and that was the Marsupilami, which I think we had the game of the Marsupilami in the past. But that character got his own series after a while. Yeah, exactly, Uba. But the Marsupilami really has a really good game that was released by Microids a few years ago. That one is really, really good, so if you want to check that one out, I would recommend it. Spirou, unfortunately, is kind of like in limbo. he didn't get a revival in a video game yet, so hopefully soon. So, I mean, we had a new Tintin game this year. It wasn't good, but at least we got a new one. So yeah, the plane toys are really annoying because they can damage you, as you just saw. The thing is that you can climb on them as well, But getting to jump on them without taking damage is really, really annoying.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad this match is going pretty well so far, because I wasn't sure if the game was hard enough for Kusogrand8, but people are struggling a little bit with it. So.
Honestly, that's the thing with Infogrames games. Harder difficulties, I feel, are actually well planned. Like,
yeah. It's like I think this game on normal would be too nice. It's like, for instance, the electricity through the wire. That's something that you don't get on normal difficulty. That's something that's only on hard. And I think the game gets only mean on hard, and that's why I gave this one, because yeah, it's kind of hard to plan some of these obstacles on this difficulty.
Yeah, Infogrames, like, honestly, one of the Tintin games, I believe it's technically faster to play through on hard difficulty rather than easy, just because of how I think the auto-scrolling sections are faster. Yes, there are more obstacles and more ways to get hurt, but you know, that encourages you to get better, and if you're skilled, you can actually beat the game faster than if you're playing on an easier difficulty. It never increases the number of hits that you need to deal to an enemy. Instead, it just increases your need to play well. And that's precisely what a lot of devs missed back in the 90s, and Infogrames just managed to do it. It's very impressive. Yeah, this is a game that, like, I fully understand why we have it in Kusogrand8, because of, like, Infogrames is kind of notorious, but at the same time, I feel like this game is debatably good in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Now, the crouching, the insta-death that we're seeing on the Schmumbler's side, like, those are issues. Like, because of the fact that you have to stop moving in order to crouch, that can really throw people's controls off and make them, you know, it takes a while to get used to the animation requiring time.
It takes enough time to make it a little bit frustrating. Like, when you shoot, you can't actually use that as a reaction to an enemy because it takes too much time to shoot. The controls are just like, it's missing just a button to make the controls a little bit better. And like you said, like ducking and that kind of action takes a bit of time because they want that really clean animation that looks great, but it's not helpful when you're playing.
Yeah, I honestly... Yeah, I know that with a lot of games that have fluid animations, they did that because they're like, oh, who are we trying to please? The executives. You know, and honestly, with a game that is focusing a lot on a classic cartoon or a classic comic, you want to make it look good. But that comes with its downsides, you know, the downside of how controllable is this character, what do we lose, and are the downsides actually worth it? I'd say in this case, no. Yeah, like, losing your ability to actually platform in a platformer, not advantageous, but at the same time, it's not severe enough that you can't get used to it. You can get used to it, absolutely. It's just, yeah, if you're developing this, my recommendation to programmers in the 90s, have the fluid animations, but have a way to cancel out of them, please.
Yeah, and something as well, it's like I've read a few interviews of people who worked at Infogrames, and a lot of the time, those were the first job making games. It's like, I know, like, the designer for Tintin Prisoners of the Sun, that was the first time he made levels for video games, so you just have to figure things out. There's no really guide back then on how to make things properly. It wasn't information that was easily easy to know.
Even
a fun fact
yeah.
A fun fact about the train level: you can actually go inside the cars, and that can make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, but there are the items that you have to shoot in order to not take damage.
Yeah, a solution for those is to run and glide, which is something that you can do. Give that info to players, but it's not the most intuitive thing. So
yeah, one thing that we haven't said as well is that this game has fall damage. You lose 1 heart when you land on the ground from too high. It's a little kinder than some Tintin games. Some of them, like, if you fall a certain amount, you take 1 damage, and then if you fall more, you insta-die. And figuring that out was actually essential for routing the speed run. It was a joy.
Andrade is trying something which is actually a good idea. I think he's pausing to try to react to things, which is not a bad idea. But that wasn't enough to clear this level.
Oh my gosh, I love this music.
The music again is fantastic in this game. It's a lot better than the home console version, in my opinion, the music.
Yeah, and if you do like the composer for this, again, he made the Tintin games for Game Boy Color. He made the audio for that. Smurfs for any of the handheld versions. Turok 2 for Game Boy Color. He did the audio for that as well. Mouse.
I think it was a pretty okay game. I remember playing a Turok game. Maybe it was the one game, but yeah, I think I might have played. Maybe it was the one on the Game Boy Advance that I played. I remember playing a Turok game on handheld, and I thought it was pretty good, but I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, that game it's extremely different from the N64 Turok games, but I believe it's actually good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything that this guy worked on, Alberto Gonzalez, he made fantastic stuff. Yeah, and I love the design for the game. You know, one of the lead designers, Ruben Angel Gomez, worked on quite a few games, including, oh my gosh, no, Imagine Animal Doctor, Pets Rescue. Oh no, Pets with a Z.
No. I would have signed up for Sharper's match.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, Imagine Animal Doctor. I don't think I've played. I've seen some of the Imagine games, but not the Animal Doctor game. Okay. What about the producer for this? He definitely worked on other stuff. Super Monkey Ball for Game Boy or GameCube. Never mind. Got special thanks for it. I guess he didn't work on it.
Okay. Because I was like Super Monkey Ball on Game Boy. I didn't know that existed. I think I remember a GBA version, or maybe.
Yeah, we call that Super.
But that one is
Ball
pretty
Junior.
bad.
Yeah. There. Go ahead.
In terms of placing right now, it seems that Schmumbler is in first because he reached the middle of Car 7 Stage 3. Andrade is second, also reached Car 7. Tina reached the 6th car in Stage 3, and Pomona Flores reached the beginning of Stage 3. So it's really, really close. The next stage, I think, is back to the city, like on the rooftop. The main thing is that you have enemies that you can shoot now in later stages. And something that is a bit frustrating and confusing about the game is that so some enemies are vulnerable to the gun, others aren't. So the logic is mostly that robots will be vulnerable to it, and the other enemies will have a special behavior. Like sometimes they'll slow down, sometimes it just does nothing.
So I do have a question. We see all these packages around and people are collecting them. What do the packages do?
The packages, so these are actually Spirou rats. If you collect enough of them, you gain a life.
Okay. I'm guessing it's probably at about 30.
I don't remember exactly.
Let's see.
To be honest, I really wasn't expecting to give this today, and originally this was a game for round one.
Well,
yeah.
Let's see Tina. Tina is at 27.
It might be 40.
Well, never mind. Okay, Tina is game over. Now, what are the stakes for this match? The players have 12 points. That means that they need to come in first or second in order to move on. Third and fourth will be eliminated. And right now, the standings are that all of the players have made it to stage 3, and most of them have made it to the 7th car. 3 out of 4 of them to the 7th car. Although Schmumbler may have made it to the underground section after that, as you were saying earlier, but we'd have to have somebody go and review that.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get through that section. I mean, they seem to be getting better and better. I like Andrade's threat of posing. I'm not sure if it actually helps that much, but...
Yeah, I do enjoy that players are experimenting with different strats. Is that the end? Solo's through!
The end. So it did help, and we're back on the rooftop, I think.
Well, that's a very clear amount of progress for Solo.
Factory. I'm really confused by this game because the order of the stages are just different from the Super Nintendo version. So the rooftop are back after this one.
Now
I'm really confused by it.
Another fun thing about Infogrames is that a lot of their games, when it comes to difficulty, it actually affects how health regeneration works between levels, and hard difficulty usually either limits how much health you can get or only heals you 1 heart if you're at no hearts left when you beat a level. So that's another element that comes into play, and considering that you have limited lives before getting a password, that significantly makes it difficult for you.
Yeah, this game has 3 passwords throughout the whole game. It's right after the factory that you get another password. So, because I have the password right here, and it says that it's for the rooftop level. So yeah, getting through that section is really annoying. So Andrade needs to shoot that robot, because something that you can do is actually shoot the robot. You can shoot down. You can shoot diagonally down, and then you have to slide from really far away from the wall so that Spirou has enough time to actually get into the right position. In the Super Nintendo version, that mechanic is introduced during an auto-scroller.
No, you can't do that!
Which is one of the points where people really struggle with.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I believe it.
So yeah.
But yeah, this is going well.
Andrade is really going to struggle if he doesn't realize that he can shoot down, because some of these robots are really annoying to deal with. But like I said in the notes, experiment with the controls. I gave the basic controls, and yeah, I have no idea if the manual gave you more information than that, because couldn't find it. Like, I couldn't find maps of the levels as well. This game is not really popular. So I'm hoping Schmumbler gets through this stage as well.
There we go. Schmumbler is through. That is a very clear second place. However, the leads can change. You never know. Remember, only first and second will be moving on. Tina and Pomona need to hustle. Gotta hustle and bustle.
So Andrade is really taking his time, which is, I think, a really, really good strategy. Yeah, this section is annoying because you have to run from the pipe to have enough room to do the slide motion. The moment you start running, you have to press down.
Yeah, the run and slide. If you have to do that in an auto scroller for the Super Nintendo version, that is
there you go.
The first time, that's sadistic.
So yeah, again, it feels like the people who made this game played the console version and made everything a little bit easier, but it still keeps some of the flows from the original game with, like we said earlier, all these animations that take a lot of time to play out. But yeah, Andrade got really, really far into that level. He has enough time to get back to it.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. Tina moving on to the factory. This is a solid third place. Tina could move into second or possibly first with 4 extra lives. This is huge.
Yeah, having 4 lives is really... I mean, overall, this stage is not that hard compared to the previous one. And with 4 lives, she might have enough room to get past it.
An important thing to note is that while the Super Nintendo Infogrames games generally have a timer, their Game Boy games don't. And because of that, you can relax a little bit more, take your time, learn how to play the game, don't die to the bug. Or die to the bug once. You still have 3 extra lives, so like Tina could actually get a password, I feel. I think it comes after this level, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's right after this one. Okay, so she noticed that she can shoot up, and I wonder if she'll try to shoot down as well. Yeah, it's not active. So yeah, I think she's going to think she's going to think that these robots are invincible to bullets, but it's just that the robot wasn't active yet, and you can't destroy it before it's active. It's a little bit lame. It's like, again, some of these little flaws that made me put this game on Kusogrand8.
Yeah,
it's not that bad, but when you combine everything, it gets really frustrating and annoying. Okay, Tina might be get the lead if she manages to get past that ladder.
Okay. Ooh, the steam ladder. Yeah, like, it's incredibly precise to get through there without taking any damage. Let's see, Tina did get hit once, but got through the ladder.
And I think she got the lead now.
This might be a lead. Oh, Tina, death to the steam. Unfortunately, that is back to the beginning of the level. Death is very punishing.
Yeah, but now she has 2 lives. She knows what's coming up, so she's probably going to get further than that. So now, it's a really nice lead change that she got right there.
Now, we do have a question in chat from Junkyard Dave. When did this come out? And it appears that this version of the game came out in 1996. So, yeah, because of that, people have definitely learned how to make a Game Boy game look pretty decent while also still making everything run well. Like, this game is super smooth for the Game Boy. Not only that, but like with all of the detail on the screen, being able to still tell where your sprite is, that was not easy to do. Okay, Tina doing the steam climb. Ooh, almost got burned. Let's see, I think she can get... Oh, no. Taking 1 damage. That's not too bad. Yeah, there are a few moments of lag in this game, but honestly, they're so rare that... like, it's really impressive. Not only that, but if you watch the subway level, there's technically a little parallax with the background and the foreground moving a little bit different speeds. Not super different, but the background just a tiny bit faster than the foreground. Like, it's very subtle and very impressive.
Yeah, this game looks really, really nice. It's kind of the issue with Infogrames game is that you saw them in magazines and wanted to play them.
Yeah.
And then you realize you made a mistake asking for those games for Christmas.
Yeah, you don't get Infogrames on Super Nintendo. That's just the rule. At least if you want to enjoy life, you don't do that. Tina, no!
I know that as a kid, I remember that unfortunately Schmubler got double hit right there. On the Genesis, I had the Genesis as a kid, and the Tintin in Tibet, I didn't mind the difficulty that much. I really enjoyed the game, but Spirou on Genesis, I got so frustrated because that version of the game only has one password in the middle of the game. So I never reached that point because that's way too hard.
Yeah.
At least Tintin, you had password every 3 or 4 levels, but yeah, the Spirou game on Genesis and Super Nintendo is really, really mean.
Pew, pew, pew. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. It's been nice to just be able to chill with people today. Like, thank you all so much for coming and watching. I'm loving the music. I'm just having a lot of fun right now. Also, I love that chat was asking, hey, what are you picking up? What are the collectibles? I believe they're packages, but somebody said, are they sushi? They could be sushi. I don't know, like run around. Actually, I don't want Subway sushi. Never mind. That's gross. Random packages on the Subway, probably safer. Not a lot safer, but probably safer than Subway sushi.
Yeah, don't think you can get hit by that robot while you're on the pipe, so Tina should be safe there. Yeah,
Tina has 1 extra life, by the way. Yeah, the important thing is, as you're playing this, oh my gosh, the jump slide. Little tricky maneuver, but Tina got through there. Tina might get through this level.
Yeah, I think she's almost at the end. So she's gonna get a password as well.
Yeah, now this level has been a little repetitive, but I don't mind it too much in the context of a factory, because factories, as it tends to be the case, they are a little repetitive.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like one of these themes that most platform games back in the 16-bit era had, and it's always just a really, really boring theme. It's like,
yeah,
I hate factory levels like this.
Yeah, I mean, like in the cartoon, or not in the cartoon, I've been watching a little bit of the UK show, The Crystal Maze, and they have Industrial Zone, and it always makes me laugh. It sounds like a Sonic area, But yeah, it's just like vaguely industrial themed, and it's perfect. It's like a level in a video game.
Since you've been watching
No, the bug!
Yeah, that section is really tricky, but I think it's going to be hard for Andrade to catch up to that point.
I don't know. Solo has 2 extra lives. I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah, like
no health.
Oh yeah,
but...
it's right after the pipe section. So actually, yeah, one more hit and Andrade will lose a life. So it's going to be a bit difficult. There's a few tricky sections. The main thing is that since people didn't find out to kill that bug, it makes all these sections really, really hard to get through. So did you start watching Fort Boyard as well, since the Crystal Maze is a spin-off from that?
Watching what?
You know, Fort Boyard, that show that had the game.
Oh, that's right. No, I haven't started watching that. I need to.
Since the Crystal Maze is a spin-off show from that one.
I honestly didn't realize it was a spin-off from that, but that completely makes sense because of how similar they are in structure.
It was made by the same people, and while the Crystal Maze started earlier than Fort Boyard, Fort Boyard was shot and prepared earlier, so it just I'm not sure. I'm not sure why the UK version doesn't use the fort as well, but most of the trolls are similar, at least back then.
Yeah, and it was the same creator, Jacques Antoine, who created Fort Boyard and the Crystal Maze. But apparently, so what I'm seeing is that the fortress was unavailable to film in because it was being refurbished. And that's why they made the Crystal Maze.
Okay, Tina is almost back to the point where she was. I think there's like a ladder afterwards, and that's the section where she was. That's also the issues with factory levels. Like you said, it's really repetitive and it's hard to tell where you are exactly.
Well,
something that Tina didn't realize is that she can grab that robot that moves at the top of that section.
Yeah, oh my gosh, Solo having a hard time with this bug. Oh, so close, you bumped your face. No, you can do it. Oh, there we go, Solo's through. Ah! Okay. Yeah, by the way, with, I forget what I was gonna say. Like, I've enjoyed the Crystal Maze. Oh, right, I saw an episode recently where, one of the players had, like, a panic attack in an area, and, the person who was, the host, Richard, I don't know how to say his last name, Adawai. I definitely slaughtered that, but he like handled it probably in the best way possible, and I'm like, the creators of the show didn't edit it out, they left it in, and they also showed an extremely elegant way to deal with it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool of them. Like, for not neglecting that happens, but also like showing how you can get through it. Ayuade, that's okay. There we go.
So I think Tina made more progress. Unfortunately, she got hit by a bullet that visually wasn't on top of the character, but that's the way it works in some of these games. The collisions doesn't really match what you're seeing. So yeah, right now I think we really have a clear ranking. So Tina is in the lead, Andrade is second, I think, and Smumbler is third, and Flowers, Pomona's Flowers is fourth. Oh, Andrade noticed that he can shoot diagonally while standing on the ladder, so you can shoot the robot if you have the right position. Here you go. So maybe now you'll think of shooting down as well, because if you have so much possibility on the direction that you can shoot while on the ladder, you would expect the same thing when you're on the ground. At least I would.
Now, one thing that we had discussed earlier that's coming up at this point, because this does matter when it comes to tracking. Essentially, there was an issue with Pomona and controls and not being able to go into a door. The refs have decided that there will not be additional time rewarded, or awarded, so we are going to just end at the hour. Again, that's a decision that we leave to the refs in their discussions, because they have a better finger on things when it comes to what is going to be appropriate or not. Thank you so much, refs.
Yeah, it's really nice having a ref. It makes things so much easier and so more relaxing.
Yeah.
It's like tracking with two players during the GM tournament was hard at times. I can't imagine how you did before when.
Oh, I can imagine it.
Yeah, I mean,
I can imagine it very well. It was basically, I think this is how they did.
A nightmare.
Yeah. Now, Tina, back onto the train. Solo is in the industrial zone. Solo could potentially make a little bit of progress here and move into the lead, but with very little health and no extra lives. I think this may be his last attempt to move into first place, if he's not in first place right now.
The thing is that Solo, I think, understood some of the mechanics better, like the fact that you can hang from that robot, and he also found out to shoot some of the robots, so maybe he'll be able to get in the lead. So it's going to be interesting because Tina has been really mostly relying on jumps to avoid all of these enemies. But Solo figured out a little bit better what he can do. Oh, here we go! So he got the fact that you can shoot down, so...
Nice!
He could get in the lead right at the end if he manages his health properly.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm wondering, I'm looking at the predictions because Solo only had 8% of the votes, Tina 71%. Solo could be an absolute upset if he can get through this area. Yeah, killing the spiders is definitely doable. Oh my gosh, there we go, spider dead. Oh, bonk in his head. Watch out.
It's really going to make the platforming section and those section a lot easier. So it's going to be really, really close.
Yeah. Now, to run in this game, it's double tap, correct?
No, you have to hold the shoot button. That's what was so annoying about the train stage, is that when you hold the button, you start shooting, and so what you have to do to actually run is first move, then hold the button, which is a bit counterintuitive if you're used to like like Super Mario and those games.
No, Solo, no! Oh, that's a game over. I think that locks it in for Tina.
That locks it in. It was a nice attempt, and you should. I mean, 3 minutes, but Schmebler could have time. The main issue is that he's on his last life, so that's going to be a bit complicated for him.
I mean, heck, Tina could still beat this level as well. I like chat saying that letting Tina compete at all is rigged. Tina is just really good at video games, everybody. I mean, even though she didn't necessarily win all of her earlier matches, like, I'm not surprised to see her doing well in a platformer. This is something that tends to work pretty well for her. Now, of course, we do try to give a variety of games out to all of the players, you know, and I love, like, a traditional platformer. I love having them show up all the time. They're definitely, in my opinion, they're the best blind race to watch. Just because it's a lot easier to understand what's going on when it comes to a platformer. Yeah. But it's also a lot easier for some people than others. Like, if I'm playing a game and I get a platformer, I'm like, well, if it's after, like, 1990, I probably lose. That's just the reality. And there we go. Pomona back to the title screen. I think that it's going to be pretty clear that Pomona and Schmumbler will be eliminated and Solo and Tina will move on. That's what it appears like. I hope Tina is able to make a little more progress through this level, because I would like to see at least what the password screen looks like. Like, what kind of stupid passwords do we have in this game, huh? I don't know.
I think it's 4 symbols, and it's
4 symbols. Okay.
It's the faces of the character. You have Spip, you have the squirrel among the password.
Somebody says that Tina showed the password screen earlier. Well, that requires paying attention, and that sometimes happens for me. Ooh, Tina doing very careful platforming, not aware that she can use the robot to get across that area. There's also this evil spider that she's not aware that she can kill. But again, playing hard at difficulty here, it's kind of understandable that you might not know about all of those things. You know, you might think that that's just part of the difficulty. And there we go. That is the hour. Everyone, throw your hands in the air. That is time. Oh my gosh. What an absolute jam. Oh no, we've got Sonic. Sonic, what are you doing here? Green Hill Zone. No, this is Industrial Zone. Oh my gosh. No, this is Baby Toy Zone. I don't even know anymore. Well, with that said, I think that we have a very clear winner with probably Tina. By very clear, I mean probably.
Yeah, we agreed on the placement. So it's Tina first, Solo Andrade second, Schmumbler third, and Pomona Flora fourth. So I guess Schmumbler and Pomona Flora are unfortunately eliminated from the tournament. Or thankfully, depending on how you look at things.
I mean, yeah, like, congratulations to those two for not having to play our games anymore, and deepest sympathies to Tina for winning. Tina, hello there.
That's me. I won.
Yeah, congratulations. This was a really fun watch, and honestly, I love this game. I gotta be honest.
This game rules.
Really
this game is so much fun to play. It has a very Tintin feel to it.
Yep.
I don't know if that's weird, but like, it feels like a Tintin game.
I mean, it was made by the developers of Tintin, based off of the comic. Yeah, that's understandable.
Oh, is this also based off of a comic? I'm not familiar with the property.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a competitor to Tintin from a different company.
Oh, okay.
The main difference is that it's really owned by a company, so you still have few stories being released nowadays, new Spirou stories, while the Tintin, well, it's locked.
Yeah, right.
But it's really similar. I'm glad if you enjoyed the game.
Yeah, super fun. Very tough.
Yeah, like hard difficulty. What I like about Infogrames when they do hard difficulty is that rather than just making things take more damage, which they could do, instead they add more obstacles. They and actually some of the speedruns for their games are faster on hard because the auto-scrollers go faster, and I love it. It makes it more entertaining for me.
Felt that.
Yeah,
I felt the auto-scroller going pretty fast.
Yeah, which let's talk about that train for a second, because I think that's
that train
the worst level.
It's rough. So the biggest thing for competitors, I'm sure that you all covered this, but if you just press B, you pull out your gun and shoot, and it doesn't matter if you press directions, if you're moving. The only way to run is by moving and then pressing shoot after that.
Yeah, it's really the main reason I put this game on my list. It's such bad design.
Yeah, it's a little rough. Yeah.
But still super fun, super charming.
If you want to have fun, feel free to try out the home console version, which are a lot meaner.
No, this is the definitive edition. I think everybody should play this game.
Yeah, and that's sort of my opinion when it comes to the Tintin games. The Super Nintendo games, very rough, very difficult, and honestly, you should just play the Game Boy versions. They're so much better. With that said, like the gun, an obvious problem. Were there any other big problems with the game or any other things that you loved?
The movement, once you kind of get a feel for it, is really rewarding. It feels good to play the game. Like when you're doing stuff and you're in the zone, the game feels really good to play. Specifically the gun, I tried to find anything that I could shoot, anything to interact with. Maybe if I knew the property, I would know what that gun is supposed to be used for, but so far, near as I can tell, that gun is only used to slow you down. It's a practical joke played on you.
So actually, the thing, and another player, Kusogrand8 actually figured that out like right at the end of the match. The thing is that you can shoot down while standing up. So when you're standing, you can just shoot diagonally down, and that's how you get rid of the.
I always tried to do that standing right on that one ladder, so I couldn't do it.
And you can also do it from ladders. Like you can shoot in I think in 6 different directions while on ladders.
Ow! I kept on trying. I kept on dropping off the ladder when I would try to do that. Oh no! I messed up. I missed some tech.
It's all right. Solo basically found out like shooting a few bullets and then aiming while shooting ended up being the easiest way to do it. Yeah.
Of course, that's how you do it.
Yeah, so there you go. More tech for you, Tina, but taking care of those spider bots would definitely help. You'll be able to get through that level.
Yeah,
and
they were mean.
I think right after that there should be a password.
Right after that one, you get a password. The whole game has.
I was wondering. You had said look out for passwords, and like I was pausing, I was hitting select a bunch of places. I was thinking there's got to be passwords and they're like secrets in the level or something. I'm just missing them.
No, you just didn't get there yet. Yeah.
No, it was just
Infogrames kind of is not the best at spacing out passwords. I gotta be honest.
So fun fact, the console version has one password in the middle of the game, and that's it.
That is a fun fact.
So that's really awful.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Tina, it's good to have you here. What are you doing these days on stream?
On stream, I've been de-rusting Final Fantasy V because now that I've got the Final Fantasy VI world record, I figure I just need to do Final Fantasy V into Final Fantasy VI speedruns. Just speedrun them back to back. That's what everybody wants, right?
I mean, yeah, that's absolutely what I want. Completely. Enjoy the masochism there. That's a lot of hours, Tina.
It's a couple.
Yeah, but they're good games. They're fun.
They're good hours to spend.
Yeah, and even though I helped work on like figuring out the sketch stuff, the no sketch route is hilarious
It's
for
so
FF6.
wild now. It's so funny.
It's so
Did you know
good.
that they added diagonal movement to the SNES game? It's great.
What?
What?
Oh, Brosincha, you haven't seen the most recent route. It got updated again since the last time you were in my stream.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to see it.
It's so wild.
Yeah. Okay, you got me excited. I'm gonna have to see it. Like, diagonal movement, I can actually see how that works just because of their stairs in the game. Yeah. Why do you tease me like this, Tina? Well, okay, you're gonna work on Final Fantasy V. Are you submitting anything for BBG? And if not, just do.
I don't have any good Kuso speedruns to submit. So what I'm doing is I'm telling everybody that I know, BBG's coming up and you gotta submit. And even if people aren't submitting, they gotta watch because it's one of the best things on Twitch, period.
I agree. And Tina, you know what? If you want to do a showcase of a bad game, you can always do that because we accept showcases or high score attempts or things that are a little less conventional. Or just something that you're like, I hate this game and I'm willing to torture myself
So
for an
Super Mario
hour.
World.
Well, okay. Go back to Author
Not that
Blues'
far?
stream. Maybe some of the ROM hacks for Super Mario World, but yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about that another day. Thank you so much, Tina and Nitzel.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for the
game.
super fun game.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. All right. Take care, you two.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.